All right. Good morning, traders. Today is November 1st, 2024. Thank you for being here. My name is John Kerrigan. I moderate the BYOB Trading Room. I want to wish you and your family a prosperous new month. All right. My SPY pivot this morning, 570.46. Above it, I'm a bull. Below it, I'm a bear. SPY closed with a 2-hour downtrend and a 10-minute downtrend. All of the Fab Five made lower highs and lower lows, closing below their bearish traps under their 17 EMAs. Gold and silver still both in daily uptrends. Silver made a lower high and a lower low, closing below a bearish cross and under the 17 EMA, while gold made a lower high and a lower low, closing inside a bullish trap over the 17 EMA. UNG made a new all-time low, so you know that's in a downtrend. USO in a downtrend made a higher low and a higher high, closing over the bullish cross, so it's trying to fight it off, and over the 17 EMA. US dollar index in an uptrend closed near the 103.91 area. All right, so yesterday, all right, before the close, we still had all of the Fab Five in daily uptrends. Well, I'm going to say that's no longer the case. All right. Hey, good morning, Alan. Thank you for all your postings, by the way. And so let's go take a look at some charts this morning. All right. See if we got any lower lows. First, let's hang out here and we'll take a look at, see this big gap down, big bearish gap, price action into the close, 10-minute downtrend. You can see the thin yellow line right there is underneath the white line. See it? You can see it better now. Thin yellow line underneath the white line. Big bearish candle down into the end of the day. Again, so we had a 10-minute downtrend. On the 2-hour chart, okay, 2-hour chart, you can see the shaded section. That's the pre-market, post-market. 2-hour chart, we had a 2-hour downtrend. Price action below the 3 in price below the 8, all 3 below a falling 17 EMA there. Okay, so there's SPY on the 2-hour chart. 2-hour downtrend, 10-minute downtrend going into the close. Pivot today, okay, 5746. I don't know what that is, so I got to check it out. Okay, 44. Okay, go up 2 more right there. Okay, so here's my line. Below that line, I'm a bear. Above that line, I'm a bull. So I'm looking for a 10-minute uptrend over that line. If I get a 10-minute uptrend over that line, let me just delete this one. Okay, 10-minute uptrend over that line. I'm looking for a green erases red scenario. All right, so I'll look on the 10-minute. All right, here's my line. I got a 10-minute uptrend right now. Okay, where's the red? See the big red candle? So over that candle would be my entry. Now, where would my stop have to go? Well, it'd have to go all the way down here. Okay, so probably can't take a full position. All right, probably take a half a position because my stop is so far away. You understand what I'm saying? Because you got to stop. Your entry is going to be right here. Let's figure where that is, 571.84, okay? And your stop's 568.50, all right? So you can't take a full position because it would cost you too much if you stopped out, all right? So there's trade number 1 right there, all right? There's your uptrend. So the entry, 571.77 on that one. On the downside, if we get a 10-minute downtrend, all right, that would be red erases green. Well, the green started right here, so that's where the trade would begin. Green erases red, red erases green under the pivot would start at 569.33. Okay, so that would be red erases green, all right? And then where would our first target would be gap fill, all right? And then we would look to go even lower. We'll see what happens, all right? Today's options expiration Friday, anything can happen. Okay, so we saw the 10-minute. We saw the 2 hour. We got our entry. Okay, put our entry right here. It's the first entry. I'll color it, you know what, I'll color it yellow. Okay, there's our first entry. All right, I'm going to duplicate that. And this is our bearish entry right here. Okay, because that would be red erases green. All of this would be the green, and then red erases it because we're now underneath it. All right, if we had a 10-minute downtrend underneath it. Okay, so there's SPY. Let's go take a look at our daily chart, see how damaged we are. All right, so let's take a look on daily chart. All right, we did not make a lower low. We did take out this low right here. I don't know if you can call that a low. It's not much of a low, but it is a low. You can call it a downtrend if you want, based on taking out that tail right there. Okay, we have not broken this low yet, so for me, it's still an uptrend. All right, if we take out that low, we'll be in a downtrend. Okay, price action, lower high, lower low, closing below bearish trap underneath 17 EMA. That's our daily chart. Okay, all right, still in an uptrend till we take out that low. All right, so that's for me. For other people, it might be a downtrend already for taking out that low. And I get it. I do. So here was the wedge. You can see price action, instead of popping up, went down. Now there's a possibility, I've seen this happen, on a wedge where they spike down and then rip hard to the upside, ripping through all of this consolidation. So where did we hit? We hit some minor support. All of this area right here, okay, is minor support. All of that consolidation. So we're into that minor support. So there's a possibility, I'm just saying, we rip back up through and we'll see what happens, okay? First we need a bullish engulfing candle or a bullish engulfing move where it would take all of today and probably all of Monday to get back up over that candle, or all the way back up to gap fill. All right, so we would need that first. Okay, so let's not get ahead of ourselves. We haven't even got that yet. All right, so we're looking for a bounce off of this area, hopefully, and make a new high. We'll see what happens. All right, so on the daily, still in an uptrend. No longer over all-time high anchored VWAP, nor the prior high anchored VWAP. So that's not good. All right, underneath 17 EMA. That's not good. Okay, not making lower lows yet. That is good. All right, so I'm still bullish. We'll see what happens. All right, if we break the lows right here, going to have to be a bearish, because then they will have made a lower low. They're classified as a downtrend for me, and I would look for targets of probably 550, 558 area right here. Okay, that's what we got so far this morning. All right, still had visions of hitting this target up here. Never seemed to be able to get it. Anyways, all right, so here's SPY on the daily. All right, let's go take a look at QQQ. All right, QQQ. QQQ, kind of doing the same thing, right? Okay, lower high, lower low, closing under bearish cross or bearish trap underneath the 17 EMA, okay? QQQ, all-time high is over here, okay? They were getting close to taking it out. See how close we were? Within a couple dollars of taking out the all-time high. That's very close. So this could be a double top. Could be. I don't think so, but it could be. All right. So here's QQQ. Still making higher highs and higher lows. So that's bullish. Hanging out in the upper third. That's bullish. Hanging out over the all-time high anchored VWAP. That's bullish. Okay. Hanging out in the top part of quadrant 3. That's bullish. So everything's still bullish here on QQQ and SPY. For me, it is. All right. All right. So we just had a spike down candle right there. So we'll see what happens. Maybe this is a double bottom and they rip. We'll find out. FNGU. Kind of the same thing happening here. Okay. All-time high anchored VWAP. Price is still over it. We just don't have an uptrend. Price action, lower high, lower low. Closing below the midpoint. That's not a good sign. Below the 17 EMA. Not a good sign, okay? But we're up over the all-time high anchored VWAP. We're still making higher highs and higher lows. If they take out this low, they'll be in a downtrend. Right now, they're still hanging on to the uptrend here. Okay, so there's FNGU. Not liking the idea that we're under the midpoint here. But we were there just a few days ago, and we recovered with a higher high. Can we do it again? We'll see. So there's FNGU. All right, let's take a look at IWM. All right, here's IWM, lower high, lower low, closing under the bearish trap, under the 17 EMA, okay? Closing in quadrant 3 and not the top part of quadrant 3, okay? But we're up over 2024 high anchored VWAP. That's bullish, all right? Not bullish is not trading, not hanging on to the upper third. Quasi bullish over the midpoint. Okay, price action under the 17. That's the red and green dots. Not so good. All right, still hanging on to this uptrend. That is good. So we haven't made lower lows, or did we? Yeah, that candle's completely under the 17. So IWM, my bad. IWM now in a downtrend, making a lower high and a lower low because that candle completely underneath that 17, and we just broke that candle right there. Okay, so that's a downtrend for IWM. All right, still up over the uptrend line, but just a daily downtrend for me on that one. All right, so there's IWM. Let's take a look at Diamond Dow. Still bullish, hanging out over the all-time high anchored VWAP. It's just in a downtrend, and it can be in a downtrend as it pulls back. All right, there is our uptrend line. We're still over that. That's good news. All right, let's take a look at Diamond Dow. All right, Diamond Dow closing, okay, underneath the all-time high anchored VWAP, underneath the prior high anchored VWAP, underneath the 17, okay, making, see how here's the base, we closed below the base, okay, that's a downtrend. See how we closed well below the base, so we got a downtrend there because we made lower low on this base. So we took out major support. That would be the consolidation of this rate. Hate it when it does that. We can fix it. Right there. So there's our consolidation. This is major support underneath. Minor support would be on the top. And we took out the low of the consolidation places. Diamond Dow also in a downtrend. Okay. Making a lower low right here. Making a low. And then making a lower low. All right. See how that one's like all the way underneath the 17? Well, we made a lower low that puts it in a downtrend. And we took out major support right there. Okay, now we are up over the midpoint. That is bullish. All right, we are bouncing so far in the pre-market. That is bullish. Okay, so they may recover this today. We'll see what happens. So there's Diamond Dow. All right, in a downtrend, still up over the midpoint. That's bullish. All right, and let's go see if they got a trend line. All right, let's see what they got for trend lines. We'll take a start here. We'll start at the low, and we'll just attack the lows right there. Okay, so there's a spike of the down of the uptrend line. Okay, so any candle, the next candle would be the rubber band candle, and below this, okay, and then anything below that would be a break of the rubber band candle. All right, so there we are. Diamond Dow in a downtrend. Still bullish, though, hanging on to this area up here over the midpoint. Okay, that part's still bullish. But we need it to climb back up into quadrant 4, or at least the upper third of quadrant 3. So there's Diamond Dow. All right, let's take a look at our technicals. T2122. Here's what happened yesterday. Okay, we left off in the buyer's chop zone. Well, we lost it. Okay, the bears threw us out of the buyer's chop zone. We went straight to the sell zone. The bulls threw us out of there. We made a series of lower highs right through here in the seller's chop zone. And then we got tossed out of here by the bears into the sell zone. All right, so we'll see what happens today. Like to see us make it back to the midpoint today. I don't know what happens. We'll see. All right, we'll see what happens. And let's move this over just a little bit. Here's our sell zone. And we're currently in the sell zone. Okay, move this over right there. All right, let's take a look at T2123. T2123, selling from beginning to end. Maybe that's a an exhaustion candle to the downside. I hope so. We'll find out. It wasn't here. Maybe they need to put three of these in, a series of 3 to put the exclamation point on the pullback and then finally rip. All right, price action, okay? From the bottom of this base, we're underneath the midpoint. Not so good. Underneath the rolling over 200, not so good. Underneath 17 EMA, not so good. Making lower highs and lower lows, they're not doing it. They still have, they're in a pullback until they break this low here. They're not in a downtrend. They're still, believe it or not, in an uptrend here on the 15 on the T2123. Okay, just experiencing a harsh pullback. All right, so underneath the midpoint, not so good. All right, so let's take a look at the 3-bar. Okay, 3-bar chart. All right, we got some space opening up here between a falling 17 and the price action. Put in 3 more red candle bars yesterday on the 3-bar. Still got the rising 200. Maybe it has a date with the rising 200. Not sure. But we're into, see, the top of this would be minor support right here. That's minor support. That's minor support. So we're into minor support. Hopefully get a bounce back up over the midpoint, bouncing off of minor support. Breaking major support puts price action into a downtrend. All right, more than likely, it's going to be a downtrend closing underneath here. So there's the 3-bar chart of T2123. FNGU fell out of bed yesterday. Red from the beginning of the day to the end of the day. In the post-market, they found some juice. A couple of big boys reported last night. Apple and Amazon. I think both did relatively well. I think. I'm not positive. Anyways, Intel popped last night, up higher. So think about that this morning if we have an uptrend. Who else popped up higher? Amazon popped up higher. All right, so I don't know what the guidance is. They could be going in the other direction this morning. I don't know. We'll find out. So there's FNGU selling from the beginning of the day to the end of the day. And here we are again. We find ourselves underneath that wavy 200 SMA, underneath the midpoint here. All right, so FNGU taking out this low right there could place it into a downtrend on the 15-minute chart. Okay, on the daily chart, I don't think so. But on the 15-minute chart, that places it into a 15-minute downtrend by taking out the low. Good morning, Fido. Good morning, Lenny. All right, so there's FNGU. Let's take a look at a few sectors, then we'll go hit the economic package. All right, first sector we'll look at. Let's take a look at precious metals. Silver. All right, silver still in an uptrend, making higher highs and higher lows. Price action underneath the prior all-time high, prior 12-month high right there, and underneath the 12-month high right there. Okay, here's the prior 12-month high. Here's the 12-month high right there. Price action pulling back. All right, price action, lower high, lower low, closing under bearish trap or bearish cross, and underneath the 17 EMA. Still bullish on the daily, higher lows and higher highs. Nothing broken unless they take out this low. All right, so there's silver. Let's take a look at gold. Gold not quite as damaged as silver. Silver's really not that damaged compared to some other stuff. All right, gold, lower high, lower low, closing inside a bullish trap over the rising 17. Still bullish on gold, making higher highs and higher lows. Everything's still good there. Put in a trend line. Still looking really good on gold. All right, so there's gold. Silver actually looks good too. It's still in an uptrend. Let's take a look at UNG. Okay, you'll see UNG makes, see that right there? A new all-time low. All right, so you know that's in a downtrend. I don't need to say anything else. All right, it's making new lows. Just let it do its thing. All right, maybe they form a inverse head and shoulders. It's possible they spike it down here, come back, then create the right shoulder, and then look for an inverse head and shoulders to form. Still haven't got the head yet, but it's coming pretty soon here. Looks like they're moving to the downside. All right, so there's UNG. Let's take a look at USO. USO still in a downtrend, making lower highs and lower lows. Price action yesterday is this candle. Higher low, higher high, closing over bullish cross and over the 17 EMA. If they take out this high, they will break the downtrend and create an uptrend. Got to take out that high. Okay, we're not there yet. We're getting close, but if we take out these highs, this candle will be in an uptrend. Right now, still in a downtrend. Let's take a look at SMH. All right, SMH pulling back, still up over the all-time high anchored VWAP. That's good. All right, has not made any lower lows, so it's still in an uptrend. There's good there. XLK. All right, XLK still in an uptrend, making higher highs and higher lows. Pulling back, hasn't taken out this low, so we're still in an uptrend, up over the all-time high anchored VWAP. Still bullish, XLK, SMH. XLI. XLI is taking out the base right here, so that puts us in a downtrend on XLI. Okay, so we closed underneath the consolidation base. Okay, so that's downtrend. Underneath all-time high anchored VWAP, underneath prior high anchored VWAP. Got ourselves a downtrend in the XLI right there. Up over the midpoint, that is still bullish there. I prefer it to be in the upper third, prefer it to be in quadrant 4. Nonetheless, it's still bullish over this midpoint. Price action right now, not to say that they can't recover it, okay, just in a downtrend because they made a lower low. Let's take a look at XLU. Okay, XLU still in an uptrend, making higher highs and higher lows. Price action underneath the all-time high, anchored VWAP. Price action underneath the prior high, anchored VWAP. Price action for yesterday, higher low, higher high. That's strange, huh? Everything else was rolling over. They made higher lows and higher highs to close inside a bullish trap, okay, but underneath the 17 EMA. Hanging out in quadrant 4, that is bullish. All right, so that's XLU. Let's take a look at XLF. Here's our financials, still in an uptrend, making higher highs and higher lows. They take out this low right here. They'll be in a downtrend right there. Price action still hanging out in the upper third. That's bullish. Price action up over prior high anchored VWAP. Price action under all-time high anchored VWAP. And price action under the flat 17 EMA right there. Okay, so that's not so good. Not so good under the 17. All right. Typically, price will stay under all-time high anchored VWAP until it makes a new high. That's just a fact. All right, so there's XLI. All right, for the most part. Anyways, okay, so there's up over the midpoint, bullish. Up over a prior all-time high, that's bullish. Not making a lower low, still bullish on XLF. So we got financials still in an uptrend. Semiconductors in an uptrend, technology in an uptrend, everything still hanging holding on tight, all right? Hanging on by a chin here, but still holding on tight there for XLF. Let's take a look at XRT. XRT is in a downtrend because, yeah, this is yesterday's candle. Lower high, lower low. All right, they made a lower low right here. Took out this low right there. Made a lower low, so that puts them in a downtrend. Price action did not close underneath the midpoint. That is bullish. Price action, lower high, lower low closing under a bearish trap and under a falling 17 EMA. All right, so there's XRT. All right, so now in a downtrend on XRT. Let's take a look at the last one. IYT. All right, IYT is transports. Price action yesterday. No, did not make a lower low. Still in an uptrend. Okay, over prior all-time high. Excuse me. Yeah, prior all-time high anchored VWAP. That's the blue line. Still bullish there. Hanging out in the upper half. That is bullish. Prefer it to be in the upper third or the upper quadrant. It's not there. Okay, it's not quite there. All right, maybe they recover. We'll see what happens. Price action has not made lower lows, so it's still bullish. All right, so there's IYT, still in an uptrend. So you got transport still in an uptrend. All right, you got big caps, FNGU still in an uptrend. Small caps and mid caps, IWM now in a downtrend. All right, we still got SMH in an uptrend, XLK in an uptrend, XLF in an uptrend, and the transports in an uptrend. Okay, so things are still possible. All right, just a little bit damaged right now from yesterday's price action. So there's IYT. Let's take a look at the economics package. And what do we got for today? Okay, the dollar closed down here. That's the red candle. Okay, so we closed at the bottom of the body of that red candle. That would be the closing place. 101.91 or 90, right about there. Okay, so there's US dollars. Still in an uptrend. All right, because it took out this high and this high. All right, so not in a downtrend yet. Prefer it to be in a downtrend. Max pain for today is 576. So maybe we get a bounce. Put the call ratio, is that right? No, that was yesterday's. What's today? Okay, max pain for today, 573. Almost 4 puts for every call. Could see a put squeeze. We'll see. All right. Max pain, 573. Where are we now? I think we're close to 571. We are 571 right now, okay? 573 is the max pain target. Is it near an anchored VWAP? Not quite. Maybe they go through it. We'll see, all right? So there's SPY max pain, all right? Let's take a look at economic calendar. Should be really quick. All we have is Friday. Employment situation at 8:30. That's coming out any second. PMI manufacturing final, 9:45. Fed speaker, but it's not Mr. Powell. ISM manufacturing index, 10 o'clock. Construction spending at 10, and a rig count at 1. Okay, not a whole lot there that would move the market, except for maybe PMI or ISM. All right, construction spending, I don't see that moving the market a whole lot. So if at all. All right, employment situation, we're coming right into the holiday season. So there's going to be hiring. I don't see that, causing people to panic. All right. So things look pretty fine for the economic calendar. For the earnings, Berkshire is supposed to report today. All right. Don't know when. We'll find out maybe after the close, maybe before the open. We'll see. Maybe about 11 o'clock. We'll find out. All right, they have not set their time, and they may defer it. In other words, they may put it off for a week. We'll see what happens. ExxonMobil reports this morning, over $500 billion there for ExxonMobil. Chevron reports this morning, $275 billion. All right. Also this morning with Exxon. Enbridge, 87 billion. And then some more familiar names, Simon Property Group, you know the deal. Dominion Energy, Charter Communications. Okay. They're big names, they're familiar names, but they're not going to move the markets like the big boys. And even the big boys did not move the markets all that great yesterday, okay? I'm talking about Apple. Meta and Microsoft were not bad. They didn't move the markets. We moved down. We had Intel did not move the markets. Amazon did not move the markets. These are all people that had, companies or securities that had decent numbers. They weren't terrible. They weren't bad. They weren't like super fantastic. Some of them were, but we still didn't move the markets on some of those big caps. So the market's telling us that it's experiencing just a normal price action pullback. All right. Because normally these earnings, had the market been in an uptrend, all right, we would have seen a pop. Now we are still in an uptrend. On the daily chart, I guess we just choose to do a pullback before we wind up and take off. All right, so there's the earnings calendar. For Monday, what do we got? Veritex Pharmaceuticals in the evening, 122 billion. Platinier's going to report 100 billion. They're going to report in the evening as well. Constellation Energy, 83 billion. They're going to report Monday morning. That's it. All right, traders. Thank you, Alan, as always. Thank you, Chip. Toss says Berkshire is going to report this. Thank you, Chip. Appreciate that. Fido said, do you ever trade options on the VIX? No, I don't. I don't trade options on the VIX, Fido. Alan's U.S. economy. Just reading what Alan shared with us. 12,000 jobs in October, far less than expected. Unemployment rate still 4.1. That's not bad. 4.1 is not bad. There'll be more hiring into the season. All right. We're coming in. They're going to need a whole lot of people to ring people up and cash people out, as well as stock shelves come for Black Friday. The main event's still not here yet. And the main event is Black Friday. Okay, we haven't hit the main event. That is the main retail sales of the year. For grocery stores, I don't know if you guys know this, New Year's Eve, New Year's Day are the top selling days for grocery stores. And I think a lot of it has to do with, well, I'm going to just call it beer and champagne, all right? Because that'll pretty much take that average ticket way up, maybe about $20, $30, $40, okay? And usually there's more than one magnum of champagne, all right? So you can picture doing your shopping and then add another couple $100 onto it for all the wine and beer and champagne. So the big day for grocery stores, that would be the main event day is New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. For retail, it's Black Friday. All right, we're not there yet, but it's coming. All right, so just letting you guys know that in case you're interested what the main event would be for retail. All right, so you'd know that. All right, that's it, traders. Okay, I'll see you guys in about 40 minutes, 45 minutes. Again, I gave you the marching orders this morning. I'll review them this morning, and we'll see where we are as far as entries go. All right, I already gave them out earlier in the video, and I'll see you guys in, well, about 9:15, 9:20 or so, and we'll start off the day. Thank you, Brad. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Alan. Thank you, Chip. Appreciate that. All right. Thank you, everyone, for being here. All right. I'll see you in a little bit.